Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Well everybody, today we're going to return to the underwater kingdom of Merroway Cove to look at a Sofia the First episode that I've been wanting to blog for many years now. For those who haven't been following me lately, I've looked at Sofia's second TV special, The Floating Palace, where Sofia meets a little mermaid named Oona, and after helping her out of a fishing net, she gains the ability to transform into a mermaid, courtesy of Princess Oona via the Amulet of Avalor. Later, Sofia works together with Sven the Seahorse, Farley the Seagull, along with Clover and Princess Cora to save Oona from a sea monster who was, in reality, Cedric the Sorcerer, who was trying to steal the mermaid comb, while also strengthening ties between her family and the merfolk. To this day, this is one of my favorite TV specials in Princess Sofia's show, and I really loved Ariel's guest appearance. Plus, I think Jodie Benson, whom I've met via GalaxyCon back in November 2020, not only had a lot of fun reprising her role as Ariel, but also voicing as Oona's mother, Queen Emmeline. Also, about 5 years ago, I blogged Return to Merroway Cove, which was Sofia's third visit to Merroway Cove, where Sofia helps Oona stop a sea twister that she unintentionally created, while also helping a mermaid protector from the Mystic Isles named Nerissa retrieve Ursula's seashell necklace, which was one of the Wicked Nine. And this was another one of my favorite episodes due to the plot, the animation, and the lesson. But what are my thoughts on Sofia's second visit to this underwater kingdom? Well, we're about to find out. Airing on television on August 5th, 2015, this is Cool Hand Fluke. And now, let's get swimming. Princess Sofia returns to Merroway Cove and reunites with her mermaid friend, Princess Oona, who introduces her to her friends Shelly and Flip. During her visit, Oona's band, the Mertones, practice for a party that Sofia's family is hosting. Unfortunately, a young merboy named Fluke, who's jealous of Sofia, tries to outshine everybody, only to cause a little trouble, and gets them and Sofia trapped in an undersea cave of a giant Mantacorn. So, what do I personally think of this episode? Well, in my personal opinion, this was a really splashingly excellent episode to start off season 3. And it's got to be another one of my favorite episodes. And to further explain why I love it, let's move on to Mustang Notes. Now, not only is this episode Princess Sofia's second visit to Merroway Cove, but the episode's title is a reference to Cool Hand Luke, which was a 1965 novel by Don Pierce, and it became a movie in 1967. Also, the moral of this episode is, don't be a glory hog, which to me is a lesson that I know very well, since my parents, along with several teachers, guidance counselors, and therapy instructors have told me that showing off can sometimes lead to disastrous results. Also to note, this episode marks the second time where someone other than Amber becomes jealous of Sofia. The first person to do that was Jane in Carol the Arrow. And like Minimus is missing, this episode is included on the Dear Sofia, a Royal Collection DVD. Now, as for the animation, well, in my personal opinion, the CGI animation is still amazing, and like The Floating Palace and Return to Merroway Cove, the underwater scenery is absolutely breathtaking. Also, while watching the episode, I noticed a certain mermaid that shares a striking resemblance to Ariel, due to her tail and shell top. Also, the scene that I thought was pretty funny was when Queen Miranda tells Sofia that Cedric's reason for not coming with them was because he said he couldn't think of a more monstrous vacation, which is obviously a reference to the time when he turned himself into a sea monster and tried to steal Oona's mermaid comb, which almost gotten the royal family caught in a hurricane. And now, let's talk about the episode's song, Moment to Shine, performed by the Mertones. Now, I really love this song. It's catchy, it has a great tropical melody to it, and I really love how the lyrics fit with the episode's moral. Now, while Shelley's version is pretty cute and decent, I think the reprise at the end of the episode would have to be my favorite, due to characters like Sofia, Amber, and Fluke singing with the Mer Kids, and I like that Queen Emmeline makes an appearance during it. Sad that Jodie didn't voice her here. Also, during the beginning of the song, there's a little animation goof where Sofia removes her blue dress to reveal her pink one, and her shoes and tiara suddenly somehow change. However, my favorite part of the song is when it suddenly explodes into a colorful fountain finale, which almost makes me think of Disney's World of Colors show at Disney California Adventure. Before you ask, I still have yet to see World of Color 1. And now, let's move on to the characters and their voice actors. Princess Sofia is voiced again by Ariel Winter, whom was young Kyrie in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, Marina in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, a few of Thumper's sisters in Bambi 2, Marlene in the complete version of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, young Trixie in Speed Racer, Penny Peterson in DreamWorks Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Smurf Lily in Smurfs The Lost Village. Now, as I said earlier, this episode is Sofia's second time visiting the underwater kingdom of Merroway Cove, and I think Sofia looks absolutely divine as a mermaid, thanks to Princess Elena. During this episode, Sofia gets the idea to throw a party at sunset for the merfolk, and she tells Oona and her friends all about it. Next is her mermaid friend, Princess Oona, voiced by Kiernan Shipka, whom was in The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Cats and Dogs 2, The Legend of Korra, and When Marnie Was There. During this episode, Oona introduces Sofia to all her friends, and she reveals that she's in a band called the Mertones. She plays a variation of a guitar made from a seashell. When her friend Fluke swims off on a dangerous quest, she joins Sofia to help keep Fluke out of trouble. To me, while Oona is pretty similar to Sofia due to her age and personality, unlike Sofia, Oona is able to stay mad at somebody and hold a grudge with people who have angered her, like when she expressed her anger and disappointment in Fluke for risking their lives because he was jealous of the attention that Sofia was getting. Next we come to Sven the Seahorse, voiced by John Ross Bowie, whom was in 25 episodes of The Big Bang Theory. Now, I still stand by that Sven is one of my favorite characters in the series next to Clover and Duchess Matilda, and during this episode, Sven's family spreads the word about the party in Sofia's honor while he joins Oona in introducing Sofia to the other Mer kids. Also, during this episode, he was very against going into the Mantacorn's cave, believing that he eats seahorses. Ugh. Now let's talk about the new characters, starting with the episode's title character, Fluke, voiced by Gabe Eagerling, who voiced Captain Jake in Jake and the Neverland Pirates, and the bully Nicholas Grincrotch in Santa's Apprentice. Now, Fluke is a young merboy who's not only the third character in the series to be jealous of Sofia, but he's the second resident of Merroway Cove to act antagonistic towards her, the first being Queen Emmeline's advisor, Plank. Now, While he is a fast swimmer and pretty talented at juggling sea urchins, this young mer kid at first wasn't very likable, due to him being a show-off and enjoying being the center of attention. Also, he was very ungrateful after Sofia saved him from a selfish clam, and he was very reckless by swimming into a Mantacorn's cave. But later on, after admitting to Oona and Sofia of his jealousy, he makes up for his behavior by using his skills to outsmart and trap the Mantacorn in a seaweed patch. Next is Fluke's closest friend, Slim, a pufferfish voiced by Sean Schemmel. Best known as Goku from Dragon Ball Z, the Box of Truth in Star vs. the Force of Evil, Prince Xandar's father, King Habib, and he voiced several Pokemon characters like Professor Lund in Destiny Deoxys, Lucario in Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, and Kodai in Zoroark Master of Illusions. Now, what I like about Slim is that he tries to cheer up Fluke whenever he feels down, but he also has a cautious side to him, warning Fluke against dangerous risks without success most of the time. Next we come to Shelly and Flip, voiced by Jenna Leigh Rosen and Connor Wise. Now, in my personal opinion, even though they don't have a lot of scenes in this episode, they are the most memorable of Oona's mer friends, mainly due to the fact that they are members of the Mertones. Shelly plays a drum set made out of barrels and seashell cymbals, and Flip plays a Mantacorn horn trumpet, which sadly broke when Sofia used it to pry a rude clam open to save Fluke. Fun fact, Shelly is the first character that Jenna Leigh Rosen provides the speaking and singing voice for, after only doing the singing voices for Hildegard and Cleo. Finally, we come to the Mantacorn, voiced by Jonathan Adams, who played Merlin in ABC's Once Upon a Time, and he voiced in several animated Marvel TV shows. The Mantacorn is a hybrid cross between a manta ray and a narwhal, and he's the second hybrid animal to appear on the show, the first being the Castle Griffins. Anyway, the Mantacorn is believed to be a very dangerous and fierce creature. Every year, he sheds his horn and keeps his old ones as private treasures. And he's also believed to be so protective of his old horns that anyone who ever enters his cave never comes back out. However, after chasing the children and getting stuck in seaweed, the Mantacorn explains that he was angry because Fluke tried to steal his horn from his head. And after Sofia explains that they needed one so that the Mertones could play their music during the party, he tells them that all they had to do was say so and ask him for one. And he also mentions that he loves music. And now on to my final words. Overall, Cool Hand Fluke is a splashingly splendid episode to kick off Princess Sofia's third season. It has beautiful CGI animation. The underwater scenery in Merroway Cove is simply breathtaking. The song Moment to Shine is a fantastic song to listen to. Princess Sofia and Oona still have a great bond as friends. The title character Fluke sometimes wasn't very likable due to him being a glory hog, but he was still pretty interesting and sympathetic. And I like that this episode gets across a good moral on not feeling down on yourself when someone overshadows you. So, to me, this is an episode that I highly recommend everybody who are either fans of Sofia's show or the Floating Palace special to watch, either on Disney Plus or on this DVD. And I guarantee you that you'll be in for a splashingly fun time. I give it a full 100%. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to...
Sir, I think I just may have found a collaborator to help you.
Really, computer? Who'd you find?
Well, remember that Joy unicycle girl from Pennsylvania whom you've been talking to for some time?
You mean Bonnie?
Yes, sir, that's the one.
Well, if you ask me, I think she'll be a great choice, and I hope she can be available ASAP. As for everybody at home, be sure to join me again next time. Mustang Power.